Bernie, AOC, Mandani are not Democrats. They'll be the first to tell you that. They're democratic socialists, and that's a very different thing, and I don't think people know that yet. I don't think people realize we already have a lot of socialism. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, unemployment insurance, food stamps, veterans benefits, no grants, COVID-era payments, farm subsidies, disability payments, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, corporate.
No one expected Bill Maher to criticize Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez this strongly, especially AOC herself. He came prepared with examples and challenged her ideas in a way that left the audience shocked. Some laughed, some stayed silent, and others could not believe what they were hearing. Maher argued that AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Zoran Mamdani are not traditional Democrats but democratic socialists. He also said America already has many social programs, so he questioned what the Democratic Socialists of America are really offering. He then pointed to a recent CNN poll showing that 58% of Americans believe the Democratic Party has become too liberal, saying this is a serious warning sign for the party.
Z says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, jeez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun.
Maher argued that AOC-style politics turns almost every conversation into a political debate. He said people are tired of politics being part of every family gathering and everyday discussion. According to him, many working-class voters are becoming frustrated, not because Republicans changed their minds, but because they feel they are being talked down to. He also read parts of the Democratic Socialists of America platform, saying some of its ideas could hurt Democrats with swing state voters.
DSA are radicals about this concept, and radical economic policy is always ineluctably married to radical social policy. Their platform, for example, calls for completely open borders. Therefore, what Biden was doing, but more. You think you're going to win an election on that? This just seems like more extremism at a time when Americans are begging both parties, please, could just one of you act normal?
Maher then discussed immigration and border security. He argued that many Americans want stronger enforcement and practical solutions, while the far left continues to support ideas that many voters no longer agree with. He said most people are not looking for perfect ideology. Instead, they want leaders who solve real problems with common sense. When voters do not hear that message, they often choose someone else at the ballot box.
This country is not as mature as it thinks it is. We elected Obama, and clearly the country freaked out. We're still living in that freak out. We are not as progressed and evolved and intelligent as we think we are because we keep freaking out about this stuff.
Well,
you know?
The left freak out too. The left freaked out about a lot of too.
What did they freak out about?
Gender, race, parenthood, schools, homelessness, crime, the border, education. Like we stopped being a scientific being.
Maher listed several major issues, including gender, race, parenting, schools, homelessness, crime, border security, and education. He argued that these are areas where Democrats have lost support among many everyday voters. According to him, these topics have become so politically sensitive that people often avoid discussing them. Maher also said society has moved away from focusing on science and facts in some debates. He argued that this shift has made the Democratic Party seem disconnected from many Americans.
With communists, that human was no longer selfish. In America today, that human is no longer born male or female. And obesity is not something that affects health. You can be healthy at any size. Really, we voted on it. A formerly serious magazine last year published with a straight face an article called Separating Sports Doesn't Make Sense. Yes, it does. Because again, we haven't reinvented Homo sapiens since Crystal Pepsi came out. I've spent 3 decades on TV mocking Republicans who said climate change was just a theory. And now I've got to deal with people who say, you know what else is just a theory?
Maher described a moment that he believed damaged public trust. He said a major publication questioned something many people had long accepted as common sense, leaving many Americans confused and frustrated. He argued that this reaction came from parents, teachers, former athletes, and others who normally do not follow politics closely. According to Maher, once voters believe leaders are ignoring reality, it becomes very difficult to win back their trust. He then introduced another example involving a well-known musician.
We do have our own Red Guard here, but they do their rampaging on Twitter. Here's a cute example from a couple of years ago. The banjo player from Mumford & Sons tweeted that he liked a book that apparently had not been approved by the revolution. So, of course, he had to delete the tweet and take time away from the band. Oh my God, you mean this could have affected Mumford & Sons? And then the cringing apology, I have come to better understand the pain caused by the book I endorsed. Pain? From a book? Unless he hit the drummer over the head with it. What happened to I can read whatever I want? Don't worry, I'm a musician. It won't happen again.
Maher talked about a member of Mumford & Sons who faced heavy criticism after publicly saying he liked a book. According to Maher, the musician was criticized online, apologized, and later stepped away from the band. Maher argued that this showed how people can face serious consequences simply for expressing an opinion. He said many people now feel pressure to stay quiet to avoid public backlash. Maher concluded by saying this issue is bigger than AOC or one election. He argued that the Democratic Socialists of America are trying to reshape the Democratic Party, while many traditional Democratic voters, including union workers, immigrant families, teachers, and small business owners, are moving toward leaders they see as more practical and relatable.
Go see Bernie Sanders rally in Idaho last month. Someone threw a flag over an American flag. The crowd erupted in approval. What should have happened after that is one of the adults on stage should have told their young, loyal followers, this is not a symbol of freedom. This is.
The audience cheered, and what surprised many people was what happened afterward. No one spoke up or challenged the moment. The room stayed quiet, and Maher argued that this silence said a lot. He claimed voters notice when leaders avoid defending national symbols or stay silent during important debates. Maher then shifted to what he described as the modern left's criticism of America. He mentioned land acknowledgements and a 4th of July post by Congresswoman Cori Bush before introducing a statistic that he believed supported his argument.
So odd about this time that we're living in. For all the talk about fighting for the soul of America, nobody seems to like it very much. Too many liberals give the impression that to them, America's just a big the red, white, and country that started out bad and will always be bad, founded on an unrelenting history of sucking and unable to change. But we have changed a lot. Democrat Cori Bush tweeted, this land is stolen land and black people still aren't free. And this was on the 4th of July. Really. Not that I give a shit about the 4th of July. I've never been a rah-rah guy. But I am a perspective guy. And that's what too much of the left has lost. Perspective. 72% of black people under 30 are optimistic about their future in America. Way more than white people the same age. And as far as the land goes, yes, I guess we could change the name of Captain America to Captain Stolen Land. But honestly, to all the people who start every public event now with one of those land acknowledgments, where they say, "I'm standing on land that was stolen from the proud indigenous people of the Chumash tribe," I say either give it back or shut it.
Maher pointed to a survey showing that 72% of young Americans said they feel optimistic about their future. He argued that this challenges the idea that the country is only defined by decline and division. According to him, many Americans still believe they have opportunities for a better future, even while activists often focus on the country's problems. His message was that America has flaws, but it also continues to offer hope for millions of people.